Hey guys, and welcome back to another season of Discovery gold farming video for phase 2. In this one, I'm going to be showing you a really good steady gold farm. Before we get into it, I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone that has gotten a copy of my Season of Discovery gold guide. It really means a lot. So where we're going to be farming today is at Arathi Highlands, at this location shown on the screen. Now the mobs that we're going to be farming are around level 38 to 40, and the items that we're farming for is the elemental earth, which is a 10% drop chance, and then also the solid stones. So solid stones have a 23% drop chance from these mobs, and you can also get either 1 stone or 2 stones from 1 drop, so that's really good. It adds up very quickly. So these are the mobs that we're going to be farming, these mobs right here. Now there's one thing that you need to know about these mobs. They have a very short stun that they can do from a range distance. So I'll show you in a second once one of them uses them on me. But if you pull a bunch of them, you can get chain, there it is right there. You can get chain stunned basically. So you want to make sure you're not pulling like 10 of these at a time, because the stun gets very annoying. Especially if you're using Blizzard and AoE farming them like I am, you'll actually see that they can do the stun just like that while you're at a range, and it will interrupt your Blizzard. So you need to be pretty careful when AoE farming these guys. Honestly, I probably would recommend just single target these guys on pretty much any class that has some decent single target DPS. You don't have to go ahead and AoE farm these guys like I am. I'm just a mage, and that is basically what we do as mages. But you can do this, and I'd recommend doing this on a class that you can do some really good single target DPS. This way you won't have to worry about the stun whatsoever, because you'll only have one mob at a time on you. So on top of those 2 items, there's actually a few of the grey items that vendor for a decent amount of gold. You also get deep rock salt, but that isn't worth too much. But what I was saying is that you get a bunch of different grey items that you can vendor for a decent amount of raw gold from doing this farm. For professions, the only profession that really would help here is if you have herbalism. There's a couple nodes that pop up around this location that you could grab while you're doing this, but really you're probably better off just farming these mobs. Also, would recommend checking your auction house on the price for the elemental earth and for the solid stone. Make sure that they've got a decent price, so you know before you come and do this farm that you're going to be able to sell them for a decent amount of gold, because they're the 2 items that we're mainly going to be farming from here. The BOEs are really good too. You can get some blue BOEs. Also, there's a bunch of green BOEs that you can get from here. Some of them are worth actually selling on the auction house. Others you can just straight up either sell to a vendor, or you can disenchant them and sell the disenchanted materials up on the auction house. Disenchanted materials are worth a lot of gold at the moment because we're so early in phase 2. They actually have a really good value for the disenchanted materials that you get from disenchanting BOE gear, well, any gear that you can disenchant. On top of that, pretty much no competition here when I was doing this. The odd person would come by, like the odd warrior, to come here, and I believe they have a quest in the middle. I think any class actually has a quest in the middle where they got to come and click that stone thing in the middle, and then they were off, out of my way. So there's no other people that was actually farming this, and I am playing on one of the biggest servers in Season of Discovery. So fingers crossed for you that you don't have too much competition. If you do have competition, what you can do is you can just try to get a layer. So you can get someone to invite you that's on a different layer, and this will move you over to that layer after like a minute or so. As you can see though, the solid stone is worth a lot of gold on my realm, and this sells very quickly. Also, the elemental earth, it also sells for a lot of gold and sells very well at the moment. It's used for a few profession things, and this will only go up in price. So if they aren't a really good price on your realm, you can just hold them until they are, because the price of the elemental earth should just keep on going up all the way to the end of Season of Discovery. These should go up in price constantly and pretty steadily all the way, especially once we get to like AQ 40. the price of the elemental earth will be absolutely ridiculous. Probably like over 10 gold each or something like that. They'll be worth a lot of gold. The only downside to doing this farm though is that stun. It does get very annoying, especially doing what I was doing and actually trying to blizzard AoE farm these guys, because it will interrupt your class. So you just need to keep that into consideration when you're doing this farm. Other than that, it's a really good farm to do for some nice steady gold coming from your solid stones and your elemental earth. However, that was it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button. Also, if you are interested in making gold and this sort of content, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future gold making videos that I bring out in the future. If you'd like to learn more about making gold more in depth, you can check out my Season of Discovery Gold Guide, where I go over all the best ways and techniques to make gold in Season of Discovery, and that'll be the first thing down below in the description box if you want to take your gold making game to the next level. However guys, that was it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.